Have you ever just stopped and wondered what holds our world together? I mean, really holds it together. It's not just gravity, you know? There's this invisible force, almost like a cosmic glue, that decides why water is wet, why your DNA has that famous twist, and yeah, how some animals can pull off what look like impossible stunts.
I mean, look at this gecko. How is it just strolling upside down? It's like gravity's just a mild suggestion to this little guy. Does it have super sticky feet? Tiny suction cups? For a long time, this was a real scientific puzzle.
Well, the answer isn't some kind of biological superpower, not in the way you might think. It's not magic, it's chemistry. It all comes down to these countless, incredibly small, totally invisible forces all working together in perfect harmony.
And that brings us to the star of our show today, intermolecular forces. The best way to think about them is as the universe's invisible glue. They're these subtle but super powerful attractions that bind matter together, giving us all the things we see and feel every single day. From a simple drop of rain to, you guessed it, the gecko on the ceiling.
So what are they exactly? Well, intermolecular forces, or IMFs as we'll call them, are the attractive forces that exist between molecules. And that is the absolute key here. It's not the force holding one single molecule together, but the force that makes one molecule notice its neighbor, kind of like a little gravitational pull between two people standing next to each other. And that difference, that distinction, is so important. Honestly, if you get this part, the rest is going to click right into place.
This slide just lays it out perfectly. Okay, on the left, we've got intermolecular forces. Those are the weaker attractions between two different water molecules. They're the reason water boils when it does. Now on the right, you have intramolecular forces. Those are the crazy strong bonds within a single water molecule. Those determine its actual chemical identity. Think of it like this: the forces between people in a crowded street bumping into each other versus the actual bones holding your own skeleton together. One is just a brief interaction, the other is fundamental to who you are.
Now, these intermolecular forces aren't all the same. It's better to think of them like a family, where each member has its own unique personality and its own strength. And getting to know them is our next step.
So, first up, we have the weakest of the bunch, London dispersion forces. Just imagine the electrons in a molecule are like a swarm of bees buzzing all over the place. For just a split second, you might get more bees on one side of the hive than the other. That creates a temporary little imbalance of charge. And that tiny imbalance can then affect the hive next door. It's a super fleeting, momentary attraction, but here's the thing, it happens in all molecules.
Okay. Next up the ladder are dipole-dipole forces, and these are a bit stronger. They happen in what we call polar molecules, where one end has a permanent slight positive charge and the other has a permanent slight negative charge. So they're basically like tiny little magnets. The positive side of one molecule is just naturally drawn to the negative side of its neighbor, and boom, you get a much more stable and predictable connection. And now, at the very top, we have the heavyweight champion, hydrogen bonds. You can think of these as a supercharged version of those dipole-dipole forces. When hydrogen is bonded to a really electron-hungry atom, we're talking nitrogen, oxygen, or fluorine, it creates this really strong partial positive charge that forms an incredibly powerful link with the molecule next to it. This isn't just a little magnetic pull. This is a super strong handshake that doesn't let go. So let's just recap that power ranking real quick. At the bottom, you've got the universal, but pretty weak, London dispersion forces. In the middle, the stronger, more stable dipole-dipole forces. And at the very top, the absolute elites of the force world, the life-giving hydrogen bonds. And this hierarchy, this ranking, it's not just some abstract idea. It's the key to everything.
Because that idea of strength has some really big, real-world consequences. It directly affects how much energy it takes to physically change things from, say, a liquid to a gas. So here it is, the main takeaway. The stronger the intermolecular forces, the better that invisible glue works, the more energy, usually heat, you have to pump in to actually pull those molecules apart from each other. Simple as that. And hey, don't just take my word for it. Look at the evidence. Methane, which is only held together by those weak London dispersion forces, boils at a crazy cold minus 161.5 degrees Celsius. It takes almost nothing to pry it apart. Then you have acetone with its stronger dipole-dipole forces. It needs a little more of a push, boiling at 56 degrees. And then there's water. Thanks to those incredibly powerful hydrogen bonds, it takes a full 100 degrees Celsius to break those connections and turn it into steam. And this chart just says it all, doesn't it? The height of each of these bars is a direct picture of the strength of that invisible glue. Stronger forces, higher boiling point. You can literally see the connection. It's undeniable.
Okay, so these forces change boiling points. Big deal, right? Well, yeah, it is a huge deal because their influence goes way beyond that. These tiny invisible forces are quite literally the architects of our world and of life itself. Think about it. What holds the two strands of your DNA together in that famous double helix? Hydrogen bonds. What allows proteins to fold into the exact complicated shapes they need to work? All of these forces working together. The whole reason our planet has liquid oceans and the reason ice floats on top of them, that's all thanks to the unique structure created by hydrogen bonds and water. And yep, we're back to the gecko. It can climb a wall because the millions of tiny hairs on its feet create just enough surface area for the weakest of these forces, the London dispersion forces, to add up to an incredibly powerful, gravity-defying grip.
So the very fabric of life as we know it, and the physical world we live in, it's all governed by these subtle, invisible attractions between molecules. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? If these forces that seem so weak and insignificant can build our entire world, what other incredible secrets are just hiding out there in plain sight, waiting for us to notice?